You are watching
Trinity Episcopal School Production Network. TESPN.
Welcome to this week's TESPN podcast, and we are joined today by a couple of senior boys swimmers, Mathias, Roussey, and Patrick Puzon. And first question for you all is just for our viewers, for our audience, tell us a bit about how this season has gone for y'all as seniors.
It's been a very quick season. It feels like we just started back in, it feels like December was just a couple weeks ago, and now we're on to our last big meet, states in 2 weeks. But it's been a lot of fun. We got a lot of new guys that have been able to contribute really well and help us to have some pretty successful meets.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely in our upperclassmen, like the juniors, I've seen those kids will be able to take over the role as captains next year when we're gone, and overall the team's looking pretty good. Short season, but it was sweet while it lasted.
How has it been being captains? Mathias, obviously you got a lot of leadership experience in the fall with soccer. Patrick, you've been a year-round swimmer for a number of years now, but how has it been when the coaches and the teammates look to you all as the elder statesmen? Do you embrace that role, enjoy it, and just what's it been like to be the team leaders?
I think it's pretty fun. It's nice to have some authority. Sometimes the kids get off a track, but at the meets, we're there to get everybody hyped up and get going for the meets and everything. So I think it's a good role. It's important. So.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big, at least for me, it's a big difference from the role of captain of the swim team than the role of captain of the soccer team, just as swimming seems more like an individual sport. Everybody's got their own races, chasing their own times. But I think we both have been able to kind of bring everybody together and keep everybody as a team, which is one of the most important things for a swim team to go far.
And you mentioned the sort of unique nature of swimming in that it's predominantly an individual sport, but within a team context. Of course, there's relays where you get teammates out in the pool together. But another thing that's rare compared to most of the sports offerings we have here is it's co-ed. So as the captains of the boys team, how much interaction is there with the girls team, and what is that like? Do you have to approach that leadership a little differently when you're working with the girls, or is it all just kind of integrated into one?
I think it's a mix of both. At least before the meets, both the guys and the girls teams, the captains will take them to a separate location and get their own respective teams kind of energized or whatever. But at practices and on the deck at meets, everybody's kind of working together, cheering each other on to kind of bring that whole team atmosphere together, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely the practice together helps. When we get out on the deck and everything, it's just one team. It doesn't feel like we're separated by our genders or whatnot.
Yeah, and obviously some of the opponents that you swim against are not co-ed teams because they're in the VISA and in the Prep League and in the LIS. There are numerous schools that are single-sex schools. So that's probably one thing that I don't know if it gives us an advantage, but at least makes the dynamic a little bit different.
Yeah, I definitely think so too.
As senior leaders, well, first I have a comment, then I have a question. To me, having been in education for a long time now, I think leadership opportunities are priceless. So no matter how the season goes, having the chance for these few months to lead a diverse group of athletes from grades 8 through 12, year-round swimmers and people who just swim a little bit, boys, girls, people who want to swim in college, people who don't, you're getting a master class in leadership that's going to serve you well for the rest of your lives, really. But what I did want to, so that was my comment. But my question is, you hear different types of leadership styles. You hear the person who leads by example. You hear about the more vocal leader. There's the leader who really holds their teammates very accountable. There's the leader who's maybe the more rah-rah, supportive type. I was going to ask you all, describe how you would perceive your own leadership of the swim team.
I'd say I'm more of vocal. I tell them, the kids, what to do and get them in line. We like doing the hype up before the meet starts and stuff, so they're definitely very vocal, and sometimes authoritative. I mean, if they're acting out, I'll, you know,
Happens a
get
lot.
in the right direction.
Yeah, you can lay the hammer down when it's needed.
When it's needed, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like being vocal as well as kind of holding people accountable, especially at practice. Because, I mean, it's a tough sport, especially the practices. So a lot of people need to, like, take breaks. They'll take, like, extended breaks that might not be the most necessary. So it's always good to kind of push them a little bit to let them know that they don't need that. Because if they push through that, they're going to be a better swimmer.
Who are some teammates that have impressed you this year? That either maybe someone new to the team who's come in, or maybe someone who made a big step from last season to this season. Give Titan Nation some names of some teammates that have really shown out this year.
Honestly, I'm going to say, I mean, obviously, Aiden Malinovich, he's always been
Absolutely.
a star. I'd say Cole Dameron, too. I mean,
Yeah, that was my big one.
didn't he took a break, I believe? Or he was playing football and he wasn't as committed to
Yeah,
swimming.
right.
But he's still coming back, practicing hard, and he's doing amazing.
I think he's got a state cut in every event. as of
Wow.
Right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a great football player as well. I think I told this story maybe on one of our other podcasts earlier in the fall, but in one of the home football games that we were broadcasting, this kid kept making tackles, and my roster saying he's a ninth grader, and I'm like, someone must be wearing the wrong uniform. There's no way that kid's a ninth grader. And then I talked to the coaches, and I realized, like, oh, Cole, he was number 12, and he was a ninth grader, and I thought he was one of the guys that really popped on a very talented football team as just an athletic, natural defender. And then to be able to carry that into the pool, which is a totally different skill set, is really impressive on his part.
Definitely.
So Patrick, I wanted to ask you, you and I talked a bit about this before we rolled, but you have obviously been a very strong swimmer for many years. I mean, I remember when you first came to Trinity, you may or may not have been aware of this, but I remember other students saying, like, that kid's really good at swimming. Keep an eye on him. He's going to do a lot of things in the pool. And then you went through a little bit of a period where, I don't know if it's fair to say you fell out of love with the sport, but you took a break. You maybe had a little bit of burnout. Can you speak to us about what that felt like and how you've regained your love for the sport?
It was definitely difficult. I mean, I've been doing year-round for about 4 years, and I want to say I've only really been in the pool for about a good 2.5, 3. It was hard at first because practices are not fun. They're very repetitive and stuff, and it's not hard for swimmers to burn out. You see it all over the place. And to me, I mean, getting back into it was definitely difficult because I was definitely out of shape and all of that. It was very hard, but I just remembered what I like, the love of racing and being able to be with a team that, I mean, you're with hours a week. It's nice. So,
Has this been your favorite year yet in the high school pool?
in the high school pool, I'd say so. Yeah. I mean, I love the guys. We're all really tight, really close. So I believe it is.
How about you, Mathias? Would you say this has been the best year?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, well, maybe we should wrap up with a little lightning round. A few quick questions, quick answers.
All right.
Sound good? All right. Who would you say is the funniest teammate on your team?
Cole or Ben?
Yeah, Kohler Ben, the Wiggler.
Who would you say is your toughest opponent?
Aiden Maminovich.
Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
We'll say Rick. Our
I
coach.
was gonna say Rick.
Yeah.
And kind of changing gears here, what's your favorite class you've taken at Trinity?
I'm gonna say psychology. I love psychology. It's really fun.
I'm gonna say IBGO.
And if you had tons of money and you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
Maldives.
Oh, that's a good one. Probably Hawaii.
Do you have a pregame superstition, ritual, snack?
I mean, before my races, I'll like close my eyes, count to 8, and different numbers, different colors too. It's weird.
We might have to do a follow-up on how you see numbers in different colors.
I know, it's weird.
As a guys team as a whole, we all go into the locker room and like pile in a corner and do a men chant, which gets us all going before every meet.
Definitely.
And what would you consider as we enter into the last few meets of the season, league meet, and then a couple weeks here from the state meet? this will be the last question. How would you consider this to be a successful season?
I mean, I'd say I thought it was successful because I saw like the underclassmen and the juniors as well. I can see them in their leadership right now, how they are with us as leaders right now. I can see it's going to be a strong team going forward when we're gone. So I think that's a success there. And I mean that we have a broad spectrum of talents. People can grow, people can slow down, but I believe we're on that.
Yeah, Dev, I think we've set a good legacy going forward. I think also if we put, I know we can put up a good fight at the prep league meet and the state meet. It'd be nice to win both of those, but just putting up a good fight against St. Chris and Collegiate would help make a successful season.
All right, well, the word that really resonated from me there was legacy, and I think these two guys will be long remembered even when they're no longer wearing the Trinity uniform. And guys, thank you so much for joining us. Patrick, Mathias, best of luck in these last few meets, and really want you all to enjoy these last few opportunities to represent your school in the pool. And thank everyone for watching us. Go Titans. We'll see you next time.